Hello, it is Saturday, August 10th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday crossword, so we're going to be solving a tricky, themeless puzzle, very possibly the toughest puzzle of the week. I found yesterday's puzzle to be reasonably approachable for Friday. I think many of you agreed based on the comments in the Discord chat server, so we'll see how this one fares. You never know. Sometimes it follows the pattern, sometimes it evens the previous one out. We'll find out. Thanks to Josh Allen, Mike from Vermont, Dre, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster, the incorrigible Sheeler Beeler, and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the 6 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do, of course, sustain this channel, bring us this series each day. For that, I'm very grateful. Thanks to them and to everybody who's a patron of the channel at any level. If you'd like to support the channel directly in that same manner, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons. And thanks again to all those people. You can also support the channel by subscribing on YouTube. You can like and comment. Those things are helpful as well. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community you can join via a description field link. So with that all said, let's get on to today's crossword, which has been constructed by Spencer Leach, who's responsible for about half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, once again, by Joel Faliano. And it's a Saturday crossword, so themeless and quite possibly tricky. Very tricky. Let's find out, and let's start solving. Political advisor done. I'm not sure. AC units, question mark. Right. It might mean... So you read AC units, and my first thought would be air conditioning units, but the question mark indicates some kind of pun, and it makes me wonder if it's alternating current. So it's a measure of electricity, perhaps, but I don't know the answer, so I'm going to have to move on. Get perfectly. To get something perfectly might be to grok it, maybe? I don't know. There are probably actually numerous possibilities that would fit in 4 letters, so I'm not quite willing to put that in without any crosses. First civilization to cultivate potatoes. If I had to guess, it would be Inca or Maya in 4 letters, because potatoes did come from the Americas, so that would be my suspicion. I don't know which I think is more likely. I don't know which I think is more likely, but it probably ends with A. Thin strip, a slat maybe, like on blinds or something like that. And then AC units, right, it's plural, so that's not a surprise. To get perfectly, okay, well, it's not grok. If this is slat, which I think it is, you could nail something, you could get it perfectly. You say, oh, I really nailed it, I got it perfectly. Let's try it and see if it works. Don't know the political advisor done. Brand of brightly colored hair dye with a rhyming name. I have no guesses about that. And sport that has generated noise complaints across the country in recent years. Well, I didn't know. Okay, I think the answer to this is pickleball. I didn't know that it has generated noise complaints specifically, but it's a thing that feels to me as though it's basically come out of nowhere. And pickleball is something I just never heard mentioned ever in my life until maybe 5 years ago, and then it started being mentioned constantly. So that would be my guess. The recent years bit is what makes me think it's this. Okay, AC units, right, still not sure. Although that said, I don't really hear it really ever discussed in the UK. It really does seem like a US trend, but maybe it could be elsewhere as well. Okay, so the first civilization to cultivate potatoes, this does look like Inca, doesn't it? Let's try it. So this could be Anita, maybe? Or, okay, I can't actually think of any other names. Noted 21st century movement, question mark. TikTok something? Oh, TikTok trend, maybe? Yes, okay. So why is that a movement? I guess in the sense of something that a trend is something that kind of becomes popular, fashionable, people participate in it, and a movement is kind of that as well. I mean, a trend feels more fleeting to me than a movement, but I think the question mark pun indicator can smooth that over. It might end up being a different word than trend. We'll find out eventually. This does look like Anita, doesn't it? And knee part for short is probably ACL, anterior cruciate ligament. And then AC units, oh, amps. Amps is a electricity-related unit, so there we go. Band of brightly colored hair dye with a rhyming name. Manic, panic, maybe? It rhymes with manic, which is why I'm suggesting it. So let's try it and see. Some animal products. Not sure what that is. What about this? Don't mention it. Taboo. So the exclamation point in a clue, often this means we're making a statement about the answer rather than defining the answer or being synonymous with it. So obviously you wouldn't use don't mention it in a sentence the same place you'd use taboo, and it doesn't define it, but it says something about it. It sort of describes it. A taboo is something not to be mentioned. So that's what's going on with the exclamation point. Disapproving sound would be, as we spell tisk, but sort of disapproving sound made with your tongue. Pitfall would be a snag, I suppose. And grand opening, kilo. So opening in the sense of a prefix to a word that means a grand or 1,000. So kilo means 1,000. All right, finish a study session at the library, perhaps. Go home or finish a study session. I'm not sure. What about this? Oh, right, some animal products are... I still can't see what this is. Sorry about that. And here we have relatively nice prison, humorously. Classy, so... I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. Quarrel could be a spat, maybe. A bit of an argument or a fight. I don't know. Let's just put it in and see, since I'm not getting anything else in this area. Finish a study session at the library, perhaps. I don't know what this is. It looks like it should start with G for go something, but go home? I don't... Pitfalls. Nah, it's got to be right. Okay, I'll just keep going. I don't know. If you're not fooled by something or someone, you're on to them. So what are some animal products? I mean, pelts. Animal skins, pelts. That's what it is. Okay. So, log off. You were using one of the computers at the library. Right, okay. You're using it for, I don't know, internet access or whatever kind of research. So relatively nice prison, humorously. This doesn't look right, does it? Log out, maybe. So what's the relatively nice prison? Club Med, which is the name of a sort of chain of resorts, I think, sort of holiday resorts. But you could refer to a prison in that way to suggest, it's actually quite nice, I suppose. Okay, I think this must be the answer. Circus venue. Because I've heard people use Club Med to refer, I don't know that I've heard it specifically used to refer to prisons, but I've heard it used generally as a way to kind of, sarcastically refer to something being nicer than you'd expect, I guess. Okay, circus, a place, that is specifically. Circus venue, the big top, the big sort of marquee, big tent in which a circus act is held. Quarrel a tiff. Okay, so it wasn't a spat, it was a tiff, but it was an argument. And then to whom one might say, not everything revolves around you. Get some perspective or get over yourself or something. Oh, no, it's to whom one might say that. It's not a phrase that means not everything revolves around you. It's to whom you might say it. So, I don't know, a sort of egomaniac or... I can't think of something that starts with G here. Regular Joe's, ? Joe could be coffee? Maybe this isn't Club Med. Because this could be coffees. Club Fed. Like a federal prison. Okay, I've never heard this joke, but I think that must be the answer. It is playing on Club Med, but it's Fed for federal prison. Okay, that's what it is. All right. I'm confident in that now. Cosmetics giant Olay is certainly a major cosmetics firm. Barrio Makeup. Barrio Makeup. I assume this means what would you find, what comprises a barrio, which is sort of a neighborhood in Spanish. I don't know if it has a more specific meaning than that, but I think of it as basically meaning a neighborhood. I'm not really sure what we're looking for there. If it means a particular sort of people or I don't know. Ferocious as winds. Oh, gale force winds is a phrase. So, if you're measuring the force of winds, gale is one of the kind of standards indicating how strong it is. And that would be quite strong. To whom one might say, not everything revolves around you. Oh, geocentric or so, geocentrist. Someone, right, okay. So geocentrism is the obviously now discredited scientific belief that the Earth is the center of the, I don't know if it's specifically solar system or galaxy or universe, but in any case, the Earth is the center of none of those things. So, and so I guess you could say that not everything revolves around you, meaning you on the Earth, I suppose. I don't know if geocentrist is used in a figurative way to refer to someone who's kind of egocentric. It's funny that actually geo is an anagram of ego, so you could actually spell egocentric by simply rearranging these letters, or egocentrist. But anyway, I think this is probably the answer. Exclamation of exasperation could be, I don't actually know. All right, what about this? Suffix that turns a verb into an adjective. Turns a verb into an adjective. Full would be one. If you, for instance, to play is a verb, but playful would be an adjective. I don't know. I can think of suffixes that would turn verbs into nouns. What would this be? I don't know. It'll be obvious in retrospect, I'm sure. Exclamation of exasperation, right? I'm not sure about that. Sprung could be leapt if you sort of jumped, maybe. Suffix that turns a verb into an adjective. Is it est, est? How does that work, if so? I don't get it. Okay. All right, I'll have to come back to it. Metaphor for scrutiny. A microscope, You put something under a microscope, you examine it closely, figuratively. I mean, or literally, obviously, but in this case, figuratively. They don't usually produce change. Oh, ATMs, right, okay. So an automated teller machine or cash point will give you bills, but it won't give you coins, won't give you change, usually. Poke around would be to snoop, to sort of investigate something. Celebratory gloat would be I win, that's straightforward enough. Rapper blank nasty. I don't know, it looks like Rico maybe. Run could be to air, as in television network airing a show, running it, having it on. So this does look like Rico, doesn't it? People hold complicated positions on it. Twitter. People hold complicated positions on what, like a Twitter thread or something? Oh no, is this Twister maybe? Sellout sign. Okay, yeah, it's not Twitter, it's Twister something. Sellout sign is SRO, standing room only. If you're selling tickets to a show where all of the actual seated tickets have been sold, so standing room only. So what is this? People hold complicated positions. Oh, a Twister mat. It's the game Twister that you play by sort of putting your arms and legs in various positions, and so those are complicated positions in a literal sense. That's pretty good. That's a good clue. I've never seen that one before. Exclamation of exasperation would be, come on, I see. So, ent. Suffix that turns a verb into an adjective. Oh. Oh, I see, like judgment, that kind of thing. Establishment. I'm only thinking of ones where you add an M-E-N-T, but I'm sure there are plenty of examples where ENT does the job. Anyway, I know, but establishment's a noun. No. So is judgment. Sorry, those weren't good examples. Why can I not think of any examples of this? Suffix that turns a verb into an adjective. Like emollient could be an adjective. But, or exfoliant, that's an A-N-T. Someone's going to give me some examples of this. Sorry, I'm completely blanking. I can't, I'm sure that this works, but I just cannot think of it for some reason. Anyway, sorry. Okay, blank roll, toilet paper, and Brit speak loo roll would be loo roll, or toilet roll would be toilet paper, and then kitchen roll would be paper towels, similar thing. In UK English, there we go. Any of the Apennines, Monte, presumably, for mountain. So this is the European mountain chain. And then walk leisurely would be Mosey, maybe? What about this one? Blank suit, zoot suit. Associated with, I think, sort of Prohibition era gangsters, that particular kind of big suit. And then we're kind of revived in the sort of adaptation of ska music that the kind of, it's called ska, but not sort of different to actual, Jamaican ska. But a lot of those musicians wore zoot suits. Walk leisurely right, Mosey. Yeah, I think that's fine. Animal whose pattern allows it to camouflage into grassland. Oh, is it a zebra? That must be the case. Must have that. They must have evolved that coat pattern for a reason. Photographers' considerations, lenses probably. Different focal length lenses you might use. Cordophone popular in medieval times. I don't know. This could be wrong. I mean, obviously, photographers have a number of different elements they use. Best ever informally. Not sure. Ultra confident affirmation. And she's so full of herself. Here's another exclamation point. So this is another clue in which we will say this about the answer rather than it defining the answer. She's so full of herself. I'm not sure still. Gossip in modern lingo, the tea, you could say, spill the tea, share the gossip. So what's the cordophone? Is it a liar? I don't actually know what defines a cordophone, unfortunately, in this. But actually, that looks okay, because RRY looks good. Could be Mary something, or I don't know what this is. Oops. Does this look like anything? No, it just looks like Merry Christmas. I don't know what we're looking for, really. Photographer's consideration, so it's not lenses, at least it doesn't seem like it is. Liar could be wrong. Oh, it could be loot, I guess. I don't know. What else does a photographer consider? They consider their frames of a shot. I don't know. Animals from which shofars can be made. Oh, that's the horn. So an animal that has a horn. Rams, maybe? If you arrive in time for something you meet. Be in pain would be to ache. That looks good. Getting a high grade, ? Steep, so if a surface is literally at a high grade, it is steep, it's at a high angle. Lose one's cool would be to snap. Yeah, there we go. She's so full of herself. I'm still not sure what we're looking for there, sorry. Ultra confident affirmation. Oh, you bet I can. That's it. All right. And then arrive in time for, make. Okay, yeah, I made the appointment. I arrived in time for it. That's it. Oh, Matryoshka. Okay, that's good. So this is a Russian nesting doll. So she's so full of herself, the Matryoshka, the doll that contains ever smaller additional dolls within it until eventually you get to the smallest one. Very good. That's clever. Haven't seen that one either. Okay, so the cordophone is the lute. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry about that. And then best ever informally, goat, greatest of all time. Certainly a phrase that is, I would say, I've heard for longer than I've heard about pickleball, but has suddenly is just used absolutely constantly. I don't know, from about 5 to 10 years ago. Photographers' considerations. Oh, angles. Oh, right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. That's straightforward. Contracts for shrinks, e.g. Is it contracts as in you sign a contract, or is it contracts? Oh, no, it's right. Okay, I was thinking, I'm sure this was intentional, but I was thinking a kind of agreement signed for a psychologist or something, but no, it means the word contracts and the word shrinks. Either of them is a synonym for the other. They mean the same thing. There we go. Something contracts, it shrinks. Oh, that's a shame. So sad. Barrio makeup. Oh, casas, houses. Make up a neighborhood. That is straightforward. Okay. There we go. All right. Faster. Go, maybe? Out. If you're out, you're openly gay. You're not in the closet in that sense. Oops. Wait. No. Okay, something's wrong. Either this or TikTok trend. Maybe I'll delete both because I was already a bit unsure about TikTok trend. I think TikTok is correct, but we'll come back to it. Gambling venues with a portmanteau name. Casinos of some kind, but it won't be casinos because that's not a portmanteau. We'll combine casinos with something else to indicate what goes on there or what is played there, maybe. I don't know. Turkey's currency, the lira, right? That's the Turkish currency, the Turkish lira. This has got to be openly gay out. I'm sure that's right. So what's this? TikTok, noted 21st century movement. TikTok. I have no idea. What about this? Gambling venues, yeah, it ends with Enos, which I would have expected. Open waist-length jacket is... I don't know. Steamed bun of Chinese cuisine would be bao. Bao, that's a steamed bun filled with some kind of filling meat or vegetable or whatever else, tofu. Becomes inseparable bonds, maybe? So what's this? TikTok dance. That's much better than trend. So movement, because it is quite literally a physical movement. A dance is a movement in that sense. Okay, there we go. So that's not good. Yikes, you might say. And then Switch's ancestor for short. The NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, is a video game console manufactured by Nintendo, as is the Switch. Another's issue in modern lingo. Your problem? Is there must be a slang term for this that I don't know. Oh, racinos? Is that something to do with car racing or something? Or horse racing, maybe? Maybe horse racing, which famously has betting associated with it. I don't know. I don't know the term, but it might be right. Live in real time, maybe? Yes, something's happening live. It's happening in real time. It's happening as you're witnessing it. So the field of the supernatural, field, not as in field as in subject area, but field as in a kind of aura or something, which is the answer here. So that's it, something that is surrounding you. So a supernatural aura, supernatural field. So, it's a you. Oh, I see. It's a you problem. Right, of course. Never mind. That's actually very straightforward. This isn't a me problem. It's a you problem. It's your issue. There we go. All right. Open waist length jacket. Is it a bolero? Is that? I don't know if that's actually right. I'm not going to put it in because it's a word, but it's not a word I associate with jackets. So I don't know. Gas relief brand, some kind of medication, presumably. I don't know. Initials on a food assistance card. Oh, this is EBT. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's essentially the kind of modern U.S. equivalent of food stamps. Use it to pay for groceries and things. Electronic benefit transaction or something like that. I can't remember, but anyway, I'm sure that's the right answer. Landed on, right, okay, so if a bird landed on a telephone wire, for instance, it's lit upon it. So there we go. The long version of it is 12% heavier. Right, okay. I wouldn't have known it was 12%, but a long ton is more in weight than a ton. And I don't know what each one is specifically used for, but those are units that exist. Name that's Latin for nobody. Nemo, Captain Nemo, famously of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, was named Nemo and means nobody, and he was an enigmatic figure whose identity was very fascinatingly retroactively altered in the sequel to that, The Mysterious Island. A really interesting kind of anti-colonial figure Captain Nemo became. Gas relief brand Beano. That sounds right. So sign is an omen. Yeah, okay, that's correct. And it is bolero. Okay, so yeah, that's a kind of jacket, I suppose. I didn't know that, but I think that's the solution to the puzzle. Let's find out. There it is. That was the Saturday crossword. All right, I would definitely call that more challenging than yesterday's Friday, as we'd expect, but not necessarily brutally difficult by Saturday standards. But let me know. Let me know how you felt about this one in that regard. I think this was totally reasonable. So we've had some nice long answers in there. Manic Panic, Pickleball, You Bet I Can, Matryoshka. I like this clue quite a bit. She's so full of herself. Matryoshka. We had a couple of those exclamation point clues in today's puzzle. Actually, I should also clarify. If the exclamation point is within is part of a quotation, then it doesn't serve the purpose I was describing earlier. It just means this is something you would exclaim. That's all it means. It's when the exclamation point is sort of part of a standard non-quoted clue that it takes on that meaning of describing or speaking about the answer. Here we go. Don't mention it, taboo. I mean, that's good solid example of that. And I'm curious about this geocentrist. Not everything revolves around you. I assume this is simply suggesting that because the geocentrist believes that Earth is the center of the universe or whatever, that, you're saying, oh, well, it's not all about you or any other individual human, I guess is kind of what that is getting at. But let me know if I'm missing something, a nuance there. Anyway, that was it. That was the Saturday crossword. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday edition of the New York Times, a big jumbo grid with a theme. So join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.